Welcome everyone to the finals of the Indiana Regional Championships. I'm Kyle Sucevich, and who's sitting next to me?
Woo!
That is Drew Holton, and we have an interesting matchup here in the finals. We have Ross Cawthon, known as one of the game's best, against Henry Pryor, someone who just aged up. So what do you think is going to happen here?
Well, you have to give it to Ross. You know, he's the veteran player. If there's an advantage, I have to say it's got to be out of, you know, he's played forever.
Yeah.
He's got that experience on Henry for sure. But Henry, he plays at blinding speed. You know, he might slip something past Ross. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, Ross has probably played the game longer than Henry's been alive.
Yeah.
So this game is just going to be all about contrast. I mean, you see Henry, he's the new guy, he just aged up. Ross is like the old reliable guy. He's actually qualified for every world championship so far.
That's true.
Dating back to 2002 under Wizards of the Coast. 10 straight world championships.
10 straight.
Yeah. I think Ross is actually the only player to do that. So, and here he is again in the finals of regionals versus Henry, just aged up. You know, he's kind of the new guy in the scene as they both mulligan there. One guy plays extremely fast in Henry, where you can't even see what he's playing because all the cards just fly all over the place. And Ross, he's not going to slip anything by you. He's going to play that card one at a time, search his deck.
He's the full-time on it.
Yeah, so this should be a fun game, but both these guys have been playing well. They both have some good decks.
Yeah, they have two interesting decks, you know.
Yeah.
Lots of different tech cards involved.
Oh yeah, I mean Ross, you know, he's playing the Eelektrik Rayquaza deck.
Yep.
It just focuses on Dragon Burst with Rayquaza EX, knock out your opponent's big Pokemon in one hit. But the twist is that he plays the Victory Star Victini to just buy time using Dynamo to paralyze people with Thunder Wave. So
yeah, it seems to be his main strategy. Every
Yeah.
time I've done a game with him involved, he's done that strategy, so, you know.
yeah, it seems like he's always paired up against Darkrai decks, and
That's true.
That's what it's best against. You know, you sit there. The Darkrai decks don't play Switch, so he just sits there, paralyzes them over and over and over until he's got a big Rayquaza, until he's got his Eelektriks out, and then from that point on, he can't really lose because he's got so much stuff in play.
Yeah, but Henry, he's got that. He's got the Darkrai, which is so powerful versus Eelektrik. You know?
Yeah, Henry has just a Darkrai Terrakion deck. He does have some weird stuff in there. We've seen Stunfisk. We've seen he has Mewtwo. He also has Ho-Oh.
Yeah.
Plays cards like Potion. I was talking to Ross earlier today. I drove him over here today, and he was saying that this is the matchup he doesn't like.
Really?
The Darkrai Terrakion. Because what he'll usually do against like a Darkrai is he'll sit there and Thunder Fang sometimes with Raikou, but he can't ever let Raikou hit the field because if he does, every time he takes a prize, Terrakion just retaliates and knocks it out and takes 2 free prizes.
Yeah.
So, he runs, I think he only runs like 2 Rayquaza EX, and then he runs 2 Raikou, and then a couple shiny Rayquazas.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
So the Raikous he really relies on those to take a prize at some point, but he really doesn't have the option to in this matchup.
Yeah, that's very true. And we see Ross using an Ultra Ball off the bat, and you know, we've been talking for a while, and he's taking that whole time to look through his deck. He does this his first search every time, and you gotta love a player that's, you know, he figures out everything that's there, what's in his prizes, what's still in his deck, and nothing's gonna get by him. He's not gonna make a stupid mistake based on, you know, something's prized.
Yeah, a lot of people can learn from this. I mean, you don't want to take forever like this, but you know, sometimes you need to make sure important cards aren't prized, and that's just what Ross is doing. He goes straight for that Victini.
Yeah, he didn't shuffle his deck, so he's probably, there we go.
Yeah. So right off the bat, Ross is just saying, here we go, I'm going to Thunder Wave you, and you're going to be paralyzed, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it, and my Rayquaza is just going to sit back and relax and wait for his time to strike.
Yeah, it's interesting. Ross has been able to get the Victini out on his first turn every game I've watched him, I think. So he's pretty consistent at being able to do that.
Dude, I wonder how many he actually plays. I would assume just 1.
Yeah,
but
your hunch would be 1, but he's gotten it out so consistently.
Yeah. just in case it's prized. Like it's such it seems to be such an essential part of his strategy.
Yeah, he just goes for it immediately, you know.
Yeah, a lot of the games he hasn't even gotten good starts. I mean, he just sits there paralyzing, and then eventually he sets up. But there we go, the first of many Thunder Waves.
Yeah, and Henry definitely doesn't play Switch. I mean, there were so many situations in the last match where he could have used it, and he got stuck, you know, with the Terrakion active, so...
Yeah. He plays Energy Switch, not Switch, which is what a lot of people just used to replace Switch because the Dark Cloak from Darkrai gives you free retreat. So you just attach Dark Energy, you retreat, and then just Energy Switch. It's the same thing as a Switch, basically, but you get the benefit of being able to move, like, fighting energy around.
Yeah, you get that sort of energy acceleration aspect, you know?
Yeah.
And Henry definitely plays other techs, so he's got the Stumpfisk, he's got the Ho-Oh, he plays Mewtwo, I believe, too.
Yeah.
So, it's tons of stuff in his deck.
Mm-hmm. But, can't use any of those when you're paralyzed.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're gonna be... you can see Henry's slowed down considerably.
Yeah.
This turn would have been over 20 seconds ago if this were the last round. But I think Dynamo kind of made him think a little bit.
I think Henry is kind of a player you can sort of read based on his actions, you know.
Yeah.
Typically when he plays Sora, it means he has like a bad hand or a really tough decision, so...
Yeah, this can happen a lot with younger players that just like wear their heart on their sleeve.
Yeah.
If you can see, like, if they got good hands, they'll just start like jumping up and down in their seats.
Super excited.
Yeah. So Henry seems to be one of those kinds of players, which is fine to show emotion. Just sometimes it can backfire.
Yeah.
If your opponent knows you got a good hand.
Yeah, you have to tell Ross is going to be able to read him like that. You know, he's very experienced. I think that's where the experience comes into play in reading your opponent.
And Ross, he plays another N, that is his second one that he's played, the third one that's hit the discard pile. So as the game progresses, he might not have access to a lot of supporters, and he might not be able to disrupt Henry as the game goes on. I mean, usually you play 4N. I don't know if Ross does. You would assume he plays 4 just because it's
pretty standard.
The best supporter in the format, pretty much. But that means he's only got access to one more, so if it gets into a situation where like all Henry needs is a catcher to win, he's probably not going to be able to stop him.
Yep. Alright, we'll see what he does here.
Yeah, we do see an Ultra Ball, which is probably going to take about 2 minutes to resolve because he's got to pick 2 cards to discard, and then he gets to search for one.
And both parts of this is going to take 2 minutes. You know, he's going to take 2 minutes discarding the cards and then 2 minutes searching out the Pokemon.
And alright, he discards a Juniper, and what else did he discard? Henry's not showing us. I didn't see the second card, but discarding another supporter.
Wow.
I didn't get to see the card under it, but just a lot of supporters have hit his discard pile so far, which is really bad. You don't want to fizzle out too early.
When Henry starts playing his own ends, maybe, or maybe he just draws dead mid-game at some point.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what the Dynamo's for, huh? Draw out of that eventually if you get enough turns. Alright, so he goes right for the Rayquaza. This time he chooses the full art Rayquaza EX. He also got the promo in there somewhere.
Yeah, as we've seen, he plays as many different kinds of each of his cards as possible.
I actually saw he does play 4 different Switch from 4 different sets. He flips the Tails on the Thunder Wave. This is a big flip if he flips Tails here. So 2 Tails right off the bat. That's going to let Henry retaliate for a knockout if he wants to. Or if he can get a Night Spear, that would be even more important.
Yeah, Henry's last hand wasn't too good, but we'll see what he got off the end.
Yeah, all he needs is an Energy Switch and an Energy. And he can Night Spear, just retreat, and then move the energy up. And
that would not be too good for Ross.
No, that would be really, really bad to get your Dynamo knocked out, and then like 30 on Victini probably. And then Ross would just have to resort to Thunder Waving again.
Thunder Waving yet again.
So we'll see Charon for 3. Does Henry pull off a turn 2 Night Spear? Nope, just going to be a Retaliate.
Probably perhaps trying to save his Darkrai from getting locked up or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, he probably just didn't have the Energy Switch. He would definitely go for a Night Spear there. So he's just going to go ahead with
Victini, yep.
Yeah. And alright, so now, I mean, Ross missing that paralysis was a big deal. It's just, he loses a Dynamo. He's going to catch out that Darkrai. And so he wants to start locking that in place.
Alright, we see a Bianca as well.
Yeah, it's big. Now he has to waste an energy attachment on this next Dynamo. And, you know, if he flips 2 tails on that, then all of a sudden the
if
game
he flips 2 tails again,
can
then,
start going downhill. It is, you know, a lot of people feel like, oh, I get to reflip. It's like automatic heads. But no, it's actually just 75% chance of getting the paralysis. So 1 out of 4 times you actually statistically should fail the paralysis. And I guess the one already happened here. We'll see if there's any more.
And Ross has been flipping really well on that.
Yeah. Maybe the finals is where his luck runs out.
You know, he had that walkover in top 4, which is...
Yeah. So yeah, Ross's opponent in the top 4 actually had to go home. So he just got a free win in the top 4, and here he is. He does get an Eelektrik. Apologize for the announcements. They're kind of loud, but he Dynamo to Dynamo, and here we go again. Thunder Wave.
Oh, that's tails.
And
there's ads.
Okay.
There's ads. You were just throwing the dice across the room.
The reflip is always the one that you're like, because I played Vanillix for a while, and you know when you got those 2 tails on the first one and you had to reflip, it was like, if I get these 2 tails, it's all over.
And it almost seems like Vanillix would. You always hear about Vanillix whiffing, but his Dynamos are pretty consistent.
Yeah, I guess so. Ross should just switch over to Vanillix, apparently.
Yeah.
Double heads all day. Alright, so Henry's going to play an N. This really shouldn't get anything for him. There's nothing he can really do to improve his situation. Maybe attach an energy. He actually might have already done that this turn. So I don't think there's anything much he can do.
Yeah, he just passes, yeah. And man, Henry, he's really slowed down for this game.
Yeah, I know. He realizes he's in the finals, he's up against Ross. There's a lot on the line.
There was that little break in between the top 4 and the finals. Yeah. Perhaps his caffeine ran out of his system. You know?
Yeah, whatever he was on, it wore off. And, he's taking his time now. Or maybe just like playing against a player like Ross, who's like so meticulous with his actions, makes you think that maybe I should take it easy and slow down a little bit.
Yep.
So now we have Ross making a decision. He's thinking about that card there.
I mean, he's pretty thorough here.
He's pulling an Elvis. He's got the one card to the side.
The pump fake with the card.
And he's like, and it's an Ultra Ball. Okay. So yeah, now he's got to decide what to discard. It's a lightning, it looks like.
He discards the lightning and then looks through this. Oh, you gotta love it.
Yeah, you gotta discard one more, Ross.
Anything to kill a second.
Alright, and a fire. So a lot of people are really hesitant to discard the fires because they really are the ones that fuel your Rayquaza for the Dragon Burst. You always want to discard the lightning for it. So it's scary to have to Ultra Ball away fire sometimes, but I actually like when Ross does this because it helps him thin out his deck for later. When we get into a later stage, he always seems to have so many good cards left in his deck when his opponent plays N, and that's just kind of what he's doing there.
Yeah, he does play Super Rod as well, so he can get those back. And he knows his opponent doesn't play hammers either, so there's really no... He shouldn't really have a problem getting the fires out, you know? Once he has one on Rayquaza, it's there.
And now Ross has played his 4th N this game, so he's not going to have that at all. That is important because if at some point Henry just pushes up save line junk hunts, there's nothing Ross can do to prevent him from then using those cards. You would save N sometimes to just disrupt your opponent, but if he just gets back 2 catchers or something, he's always going to have them, and that could end up playing a big role in this game.
Yeah, that's very true.
But now, I mean, Ross, he's just in full charge up Rayquaza mode. He's got can still use Dynamotor to get the extra energy from his discard pile. He's already attached. I think the one thing he's missing here would be Tool Scrapper. He would want that to Thunder Wave and do the 10 damage. Right now, the Eviolite is preventing the 10 damage.
Yep.
There's a Thunder Wave and a Heads. Go figure.
Back to his old ways.
Yeah. That would have been a pretty big miss. I mean, he would lose probably an Eelektrik there.
Henry went ahead and put the energy on.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange. You expect this Darkrai to be knocked out in the next turn, probably.
Yeah. Kind of strange that he would decide to put a Fighting Level energy on the Darkrai too. You would really like to save that for Terrakion. So,
and he did mention another Terrakion. You can just put it on there.
Because like you said, this Darkrai is probably going down.
Yeah.
And you're definitely not going to be able to attack with it this turn. So why not just attach to the Terrakion in case you get knocked out? And then if you don't, you just attach again next turn.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. So just a little thing there, but those little things can end up making the difference in these games.
And there's a pass. Yeah, not much you can do when you're paralyzed.
Yep, this is the power of Dynamo. Just a constant paralysis.
You just see the AC/DC in the background.
Oh man. He gets a second Eelektrik into play. I mean, he doesn't have many lightning in the discard, I don't think. This is something that I find the Rayquaza version has some troubles with sometimes.
Yeah, they play less lightning to make room for the fire, so, you know, it happens sometimes.
Yeah, and then, like, you have trouble powering up multiple things because you're loading so much energy on one Rayquaza that you can't power up a second one in advance because all your energy are already on this one.
Yeah.
You have to wait till they're discarded.
Yeah, you sort of have to wait for that first attack to go through, and then you're set.
And then that's why Darkrai is so good against Eelektrik, the Rayquaza version at least, because you just kind of wait for them to discard all of their energy, and then you don't even care about the Rayquaza anymore. You just catch your knockout Eelektrik, take away their energy acceleration so that they can't power up another Rayquaza. Maybe they'll power up one more, and then another Darkrai goes down.
Yeah,
but then you'll get them with like the third Darkrai to Night Spear and knock out their Eelektrik.
Yeah, and that's going back to why Ross plays Victini in the first place.
Exactly,
he really slows down that strategy.
Yeah, he tries to get, I mean, he's going to be happy when he gets 3 Eelektriks in play. Then he can just keep fueling things up, and he doesn't really care that one of them gets knocked out because he's still got enough Dynamotors to repower the Rayquaza.
Yeah, and he's almost there. Almost there.
Yeah, and he's got that field of, he's got 2 Eelektriks, 2 Dynamos.
I'm not sure if he has a lightning in the discard pile or not.
I don't think so.
I guess not.
There's a Thunder Wave again. See, his flips are big, of course, heads to tails. So there's Victory Star and a whiff. Ooh, that's 2 misses for Ross. All right. So now Henry's going to get a Night Spear. What's he going to go for?
You have to think you go for an eel. It's usually eel's the correct play, but
Probably.
You know, he can try to put 90 on the Rayquaza, set it up for later. We'll see if he goes that way.
One of the only things I don't like about Ross's position is he only left himself space for 1 attacker. He's got 2 eels, 2 Dynamos, Victini.
And the Victini's just had enough of this strategy.
All right, well.
I don't know if it's the correct play, but he just got so frustrated. Maybe it's like, get that out of there.
That happens a lot when I use flip decks. People are like, no more of that. No more reflipping. Like, put all the resources into targeting down this helpless little Victini.
Yeah, it doesn't really do much for you.
Yeah. So yeah, you should definitely just take an Eelektrik there and then hit Victini for 30. And then next time you get a chance to attack, you catch another Eelektrik and then knock out the Victini that way with Night Spear.
And then you got 2 eels out of play and the Victini, and you've taken 3 prizes.
Exactly. So just maybe a little mistake there from Henry.
I mean, at the same time, Ross doesn't have any lightnings in his discard pile, but eventually he is going to attack with this Rayquaza.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. Can he get a lightning in the discard pile? It's either that or a Tool Scrapper he would need. He might be hitting one of those stretches where he just doesn't have a supporter.
Yeah, he's used several.
Yeah.
Like 4 ends and I'm not sure what else he played, a Bianca, stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, he gets another Eelektrik on. Alright, so he's probably going to attach, retreat, double Dynamotor, and switch just to get the 2 lightning in the discard. get the 2 onto Rayquaza and then switch.
Sometimes you gotta take desperate measures.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smart play. He does not want the energy on the Dynamo anymore because he's done with the Thunder Wave phase, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the Victini's done its job.
Yeah.
Pat him on the back and put him in the discard pile.
Yeah, there's the switch. Now, will he be able to get the 4th Eelektrik out? That is...
I think he already has 4 out there.
The one's a Dynamo. The one on the end, yeah.
I meant electric energy.
Oh, no, sorry. No, he does not get the Eelektrik, so that opens up a big play for a catcher to knock out an Eelektrik and a Dynamo. And I believe Ross has already used Super Rod, so he won't be able to get any more back.
And there's an energy switch, so it looks like Henry has it. He's back up to his normal play speed.
Yeah, you can tell he's got something. He's really rushing here. And this is actually a pretty dangerous spot for Ross, to be honest. He'll lose the Eelektrik and the Dynamo if Henry is a catcher.
And he doesn't have a return KO. He has nothing coming back from this.
Right. He doesn't even have someone to promote after those things get knocked out.
Yeah. And, I mean, Henry took out that Victini, so he really can't even fall back on his crutch with paralyzation.
Yeah, yeah.
And
so,
like we said earlier, Raikou's a dead card.
Henry needs to get a catcher here. And he got it. It's going to be a 2-prize turn for him. He's going to take the lead. And Ross
is in a really bad spot, in my opinion.
Yeah, Henry's down to 2 prizes. And Ross...
He's played 4 Dynamo. He doesn't even have like a paralyzation play at all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's going to need Tool Scrapper, a Lightning, and a Switch this turn to pull off a knockout. If he does that, I think he's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a lot to ask. He hasn't played a supporter in a few turns, I don't think. So
yep.
He might not have the option. He's got a Bianca sitting in his hand, but
yeah. Even then, Henry still has the Terrakion option. He can, if he had a catcher, you can get 1 Eelektrik, and then if you had another catcher down the road, you would knock out the other one with Terrakion as well.
Right. Yeah. Since Ross doesn't have any more ends in his deck. Yeah. But this is going to be the big turn if Ross can pull off a knockout. If he can't, I think he's done for. He's gonna Juniper away. A lot of stuff there. I don't think he's played a Tool Scrapper yet, so he should.
No, I don't think so either.
Should have pretty good odds of getting one.
I see it's pretty small.
I see the base set switches as the last card in his hands. He's got that. So he needs the 3-card combination of Switch, Lightning, Tool Scrapper to get a knockout here. His other alternative was like catcher, maybe knockout Terrakion. That's kind of risky.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to make that call.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely better off just going for it here. He's got the switch. Maybe Ross has got it and he's just a little slower to play it than the rest of us would be. Must have double checked.
Henry would have played it like 6 times by now.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
Ross has a Lightning in hand. So he's got that piece of the puzzle. Does he have the Tool Scrapper, though?
Oh, yeah.
What do you know?
Wow.
See, he's just give him a little time. He's got it.
He's got to figure things out.
That is a really big play. That's going to give Ross a huge chance to win this game now.
Wow, that was, huge.
He's going to get the double Dynamotor, power up the Rayquaza. Dragon Burst for 180, knocking out that Darkrai. And
if Henry has a catcher, I think he's...
yeah, if he has a catcher, he can knock out an Eelektrik and really slow Ross down.
Yeah.
Ross won't be able to really do anything. He can't. There is 20 damage on the Terrakion already, so he could.
Yeah, that does hurt. He just needs a Lightning and the Dynamotor.
Even a Fire does it. That's not ideal, but a Fire and then Dynamotor, yeah.
But I mean, he can't disrupt Henry at all. So if Henry has the win, he has the win.
Yeah. But he needs a catcher this turn. And he needs one next turn. And he also needs to power up another attacker.
He needs to power up that Terrakion. Or the Darkrai.
Yeah, he puts down a Darkrai with a Dark and an Eviolite and an Energy Switch.
Oh, man, looks like he get another Darkrai.
That is big. And he plays a Juniper, so looks like he plays Switch, too. Wow. He's got a Switch in his deck. And Ross, I can see the smirk on Ross's face, like, what? You play that? That's definitely going to make Ross think twice about his strategy.
Yeah, for the next game.
Yeah.
He's definitely got to take that into consideration.
He got the Dark Patch.
Does he get the catcher, though?
Even if he doesn't, you can just do 90.
Yeah, you do 90 with the Terrakion because it's safe.
Yeah. Yeah, and then just set up for a catcher next turn for the win, basically. Ross, if Henry doesn't knock out the Eelektrik, Ross does have an outside chance of winning the game. You need a switch, a lightning, a tool scrapper, and a catcher. So it's now turned into a 4-card combo.
Oh, and there's a potion too.
Yep.
Makes him discard 1 more energy.
Alright, so there's 90 to that Rayquaza. It's a big turn for Ross. I think it's basically win or go home on this one.
There's been such huge swings.
Yeah.
Like back to back to back turns here. Just amazing to watch these two players.
So I guess Ross is just going to take a look. How many resources have I used? Do I have a tool scrapper left? Do I have to use Raikou? All sorts of stuff probably going through his head right now. And there's a lot of stuff that can happen. The biggest thing that's hurting him is he doesn't have any more N. He cannot disrupt Henry, so if he just has 1 more catcher, the game's pretty much over. Ross does not play healing cards.
Yep. So there's a random receiver.
He's crossing his fingers for Juniper, I think. There's a switch.
He's
catcher.
Ooh.
There's no lightning left. And there's no supporters left.
No supporters.
I don't think there's a tool scrapper in there either.
Yeah, you revealed like a switch random receiver, stuff like that, which is not what you want to see.
Ross is just going to take a look to see what he has left. It's 2 fire. Yeah, that's not good. It depends on what he has in his hand, though. He's got a lightning. He's got a switch in there. That's good. But he needs...
He needs a lot of cards to get the job done here.
Yeah, if he has his tool scrapper in hand, he already has the lightning, and if he can draw his deck, the switch and the catcher are in there. So that's game over. But if he's missing any piece of that puzzle, he's done for. He might have a Bianca. That's what's happening here.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out what cards he wants to discard. Maybe it's an Ultra Ball.
He's just gonna thin out his deck as much as possible. There's actually no Pokemon left in his deck, I don't think.
Checking how many lightnings he has left.
Yeah.
Or he has any discard pile.
I mean, there's none left in his deck, but his last one is in his hand. I'm thinking Ross plays about 7 lightning, maybe 8. He's got like 6 in the discard pile.
He has one in his hand, you can see it.
Yeah, he's got the one in his hand, but he might be thinking, alright, if I can't pull off the Darkrai knockout, can I do anything for next turn? Or maybe even, can I discard this with Ultra Ball? It's tough to... No, he is. He must have 2 lightning.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't like that style of lightning. You know, it's too shiny.
Yeah. He wants to go with the base set one. And he's got a catcher already. Yeah, there's another lightning in his deck, actually.
Yeah, the bottom one,
Yeah. Huh. Maybe I missed that the first time.
I thought I'd seen Eelektrik, but you never know.
My bad.
We've seen a few too many games this weekend.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm thinking... I mean, Frost doesn't have a tool scrapper. I don't know what this is all about.
Yeah, he's really just like playing it out for no reason almost.
He's got it though.
There it is.
And he's got the lightning.
Yeah, he had everything. Oh, Bianca.
And I think he draws his deck. No. Oh, he could. He could whiff something. Does he draw the switch and the catch? I think he did. He's very confident.
Oh yeah, he's kind of shaking.
This is such a huge win. Like, so many things had to go right for Ross in these last few turns, and wow, he drew all of it. The switch, the catcher, the lightning, the tool scrapper. Amazing. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that.
You have to give him credit. He figured out what he had to do in order to get there. So wow.
That's why he's one of the best.
Yeah.
Even when you think you got him, he pulls that stuff out on you.
Yeah, and he kind of wasted the Ram receiver that turn to look through his deck, you know.
Yeah, he was just trying to thin out his deck.
If the catcher wasn't in there, you know, he would have been...
Right.
He wouldn't be able to do because he had the Ultra Ball to discard 2 cards.
Yeah, I think he probably had a supporter prized, and he was just trying to dig it out of his deck. I mean, if there's a Juniper left, then he gets to draw his full deck. But, yeah, I mean, he played the end game very well. He did everything correctly. You could just see how every energy attachment had to be precise, otherwise he would have lost that game.
Wow.
Yeah, what else can you say but wow? That was quite a game.
One of the best players for a reason.
Yeah. And well, we might have two more here. Henry gets to go first in the second one. And, I mean, maybe Henry might be thinking, man, what do I got to do to beat this guy?
Yeah, it got so close. You know, he plays Switch, we saw it.
Yeah.
So,
probably just plays like one.
Yeah. One tech Switch is kind of awkward, but
yeah.
Wow.
Alright, so we're just going to shuffle up. Ross is going to take his sweet time because he's in no hurry to start this game. We've got 75 minutes. Just going to make sure his deck is shuffled. Whereas Henry is ready to go. He's like, I want revenge. Let's play again. I'm not happy with that game.
Ross tried to shuffle one of Henry's cards into his deck.
Okay, let's see. So, what do you think Henry has to do to come back in this series?
You know, he came so close in game one. One card here or there was the difference, you know.
Yeah.
Ross had to pretty much deck himself to win that game, so he's got to feel like I was so close. I can do this game. I don't know. I mean, you can hit the switch, something like that. So many little things just add up at the end of the game.
You and I have both been here many times. I mean, you're in Top Cut, you lose the first game, it leaves a sour taste in your mouth, but oh, you started with Stunfisk. If that would have been a Dynamo, it could have been game over.
You know what? Yeah.
It's a Rayquaza, though.
I mean, still, Stunfisk is it's a pretty good opener because you can get the Rumble and lock something.
It's very good.
Completely get rid of that.
The other thing is Stunfisk resists lightning, so the Thunder Wave actually doesn't do damage against it. So if Ross is going to try to sit there and stall with Thunder Wave, he's actually not going to do any damage at all.
Yeah.
And then he's going to have to maybe waste like a Dragon Burst just to knock out a Stunfisk, which you obviously don't want to do. We'll see what Ross does. Henry had a pretty uneventful first turn. I don't even think he had it fighting. It's just a dark. So he couldn't even use Muddy Water.
You see the level ball for Ross?
Yeah, it's actually going to be well, the Rumble actually isn't as important in this because, you know, Ross plays 4 Switch.
He plays a ton of Switch.
Yeah.
But still, you make him waste them, kind of.
That's true. You do make him waste to Switch, but it's not as impactful as, like, Rumble would be against a Darkrai deck where you just stick the Darkrai there until it's knocked out. Ross has plenty of ways to get around the big old Rumble. Let's see what Ross does. He's taking a patented 5-minute search on his first level ball.
The Ross Cawthon 5-minute search.
You know, you just got to check to see which one of his arts is prized. Is it the Heart Gold Soul Silver energy?
Yeah.
Is it the Call of Legend foil energy? Is it the base set one?
Yeah.
Maybe it's my first edition Neo Genesis energy that's prized.
You know, Crim takes these 5-minute turns himself, but no one knows what he's actually
There's
looking for.
not as much thought as in that one. He just kind of looks at it. He's like, yeah, that's a beautiful deck.
Yeah,
and then
his
he keeps
information
looking,
overload.
And then he spaces out. He's like, what was I looking for? And then he looks back again, oh yeah, checking to see what's prized.
And then he forgets what was prized. He spent all that time figuring it out.
Okay, so Ross gets his Dynamo out here. He's going to play an Ultra Ball too. Let's see what he discards. Eelektrik and a Fire. So this is where playing Super Rod really helps him out because he needs to get those back at some point.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, he's going to just fizzle out and lose probably.
And speak of the devil, Super Rod.
Yeah, so he shuffles those right back in. He grabs Victini with Ultra Ball. He's definitely going for the Thunder Wave this turn, which that's a good choice. Otherwise, Stunfisk could start knocking out Dynamos. Muddy Water is very good against Dynamo. Just you hit it for 40, you soften up another one for 20. You make them have to evolve at turn, and even if they do evolve, you can then just catch her and Rumble.
Wow. Ross empties his hand out there, gets the Victini.
He does this more than anyone I've ever seen. He always just manages to play every card in his hand and then Bianca for 6. Or, you know, just get his deck down so thin. I don't know how he does it. Sometimes you would expect to get a hand where
he whiffed an energy.
Oh wow, yeah, no Thunder Wave there. That's gonna be big. But sometimes you would expect to see a hand where he just has like 3 Junipers.
Yeah.
And has to get rid of one, but I've never seen it happen to Ross.
He's too good at that patented shuffle technique he uses.
No fighting for Henry.
Wow, so Henry is a pretty bad start.
Another pass, okay. So where's Ross going to go from here? He doesn't have any lightning in the discard pile or in play at all.
And a Bianca is a full hand, so...
Don't worry, he'll play all those cards.
I mean, he didn't want to last turn, so...
He's just going to go Eelektrik.
Yeah, Ultra Ball, Eelektrik, Ultra Ball, Eelektrik.
Alright. So he's got 3 Dynamos out now. An Eelektrik. Told you he'd have at least 1, but he's only got a Bianca for, I think that'll be 3 cards.
Yeah, I believe 3.
I was surprised he didn't have another Ultra Ball for another Eelektrik.
Yeah, me too.
Alright.
And he passes again, wow.
Wow. Both players struggling early on. I mean, it just... A lightning would help Ross with the paralysis. A fighting would help Henry. Just being able to even rumble would be a good thing. But...
And finally an end. Both players got to reset their hands, so...
Yeah. The difference is I don't think Henry plays a ton of fighting. Probably like 4. Seems to be the right number. With energy search as well. So we'll have about 5 ways to access a fighting energy, whereas Ross, he plays like 7 or 8 lightning. I think it's 8 actually. So.
Yeah, we'll see. And if Henry would have had that fighting turn 1, he would have a bunch of damage out there,
Yeah.
Possibly killed the Dynamo by now.
If he could soften up the Rayquaza twice, just go Rumble, and then Rumble again, and hit it up to 80 damage. That's in range for Night Spear. But he's going to catch her out of Dynamo here. And then Muddy Water, 20 and 22 Dynamo.
He could have taken out an Eel there. I'm not sure.
Rumble only does 40. So
well,
do 80 damage.
Weak. Oh, it's 90, yeah, that's right, correct.
But it would set it up for like a Muddy Water, a double knockout.
Yeah.
So that could have been nice. Let's see.
Things have gotten quiet here. The
Yeah.
suspense is building.
There's a big crowd gathered around the game. Everybody's in awe watching these 2 players. We got a fire on the Rayquaza. Does he not have a lightning again?
No,
There's
we
the
go.
lightning. He's just faking us out. And he's got to try to buy some time with a Thunder Wave. He doesn't have a supporter. At least I don't think he does.
Does not appear like he does. He's not playing like...
So big flips here. If he flips 2 tails here, he might just be out of the game.
There's 1 tails, I believe.
And
2 tails. Wow.
That is gonna be rough for Ross.
Wow.
Yeah. There's nothing else to say about that. Stunfisk is gonna take out this Dynamo.
Stunfisk is giving work.
Yeah.
That's what you put him in there. You need him in a pinch for a Rumble. And
a Muddy Water. He just muddies things up out there. He gets the game dirty. If Henry can manage to power up a Darkrai, that would be actually just like game over almost. If he can get like a Dark Patch, Energy Switch, Energy...
Catcher the Eel.
I mean, that would be a Ross level turn.
I think he would be playing a little faster if he had it.
Probably. He has 1 Dark Patch. And I'm just going to Muddy Water.
Interesting to see where he puts the 20.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, he can just keep using Rumble, keep the Darkrai safe on the bench.
Yeah, he used Muddy Water to put 20 on the Eelektrik, so he can catch her down and rumble for the knockout. Yeah. Maybe you put 20 on... Nah, it doesn't matter anywhere else, so... Maybe 20 on Victini, you could rumble that. But
at this point, you've taken out 2 Dynamos, though.
Yeah, exactly. And the Super Rod's already in the discard pile.
Yeah, that's true. He only has 1 more Dynamo left at best.
If I had to guess, I would say Ross will not fare well in this game at all. He's lost his energy acceleration. You need like at some point you need at least 2 or 3 electrics out to keep fueling Dragon Burst. Otherwise, you just fall behind.
Yeah, and you need your opponent to have fallen victim to your paralyzation strategy, which didn't happen this game.
Yeah.
Henry's just up too many prizes.
Yeah, and I don't know what Ross's plan is this turn. If he's got another Dynamo, he can go for another Thunder Wave. I might be able to buy him some time.
Yeah.
But we did see Henry play Switch, so he could be able to get that out. And I gotta say, if Ross goes for one more paralysis thing and Henry drops a Switch, I think that's just like, you scoop up your cards at that point and move on to game 3. Alright, Henry's got to be feeling good about his position. He's got the Stun Fist with 2 energy. There's energy on the Terrakion ready to just get a Retaliate going. And Ross, yikes, he does not even have a Dynamo. He's going to have to pass.
Yeah, if Henry has a catcher, that's almost game, you know?
You got to think so.
You know,
even
Ross,
if he doesn't, I mean...
Yeah, Ross is going to have like 1 Rayquaza attack, and that'll be it.
He's actually going to promote Rayquaza. Well, you're going to Celestial Roar, he's going for it. And swing and a miss. 3 whiffs, and that is going to pretty much wrap this one up, probably.
Was that a Juniper, a catcher, and a
Level Ball?
Level Ball.
Yeah, and Henry's going to get Energy Switch. This is pretty much game over. He can just hit the Rayquaza for 90. Ross can't even knock him out.
Yeah, he can't. I mean, he could get the Rayquaza to the bench, get the Dynamo attached, Tool Scraper.
Yeah, I guess. So, yeah, you would definitely catch the Eelektrik if you have it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
30 on the Victini, and then, I mean, your prizes are pretty much laid out for you. He's just about 3 Night Spears away from winning.
See if Henry hits the all-important catcher.
Yep.
Nope.
Alright, so he whiffs it. This is going to open the door for one of those magical Ross turns.
Yeah, the door's open a crack. Can Ross push through?
All he needs is a Switch, a Lightning, and a Tool Scrapper.
It's not bad odds.
When have I said that before?
He's had worse. He once needed a catcher too, and he got that.
Yeah,
so.
I know. That was the gross one. The 3-card combo was bad enough, but the 4th one, it just gets to you. Alright, so Ross, he's going to do everything he can to pull this off, but puts down another Rayquaza. Even though it's full art, I don't think that one's going to save him. It's much more intimidating than the regular one, but it doesn't make it do any more damage, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not too intimidating to me. I like that the look on the regular Hollow one.
It's alright. He's not faring so well against Darkrai right now, though.
He's getting pushed around.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do about it either. Darkrai's the boss. Rayquaza just has to take it. Alright, but Ross, he's putting down a Raikou too, so this really signals like a Bianca or an NN. Because you would just discard that if he's going to Juniper.
Maybe he's going for the paralyzation strategy through Raikou.
Wow, yeah, he is. He's playing the N. Putting down the Raikou is a pretty big risk. I mean, it's just a catcher.
Just a Terrakion prize
double
later
prize,
on.
yeah. So Ross is going to draw 6. Henry will draw 4.
And
again, even the paralysis lock isn't like safe like it would be against most Darkrai decks because Henry plays that Switch.
Yeah, and Ross, he has 6 prizes left, which is too many probably for this strategy.
Yeah, the one thing Ross has going for him is this is the weird situation that the Darkrai Terrakion decks get into. If you take too many quick prizes, you actually end up with like your board isn't as developed as you want it to be. So you'll take like 4 prizes, and then all you'll have is like a Darkrai and a Terrakion, and then you'll get End, and you'll never be able to power up another attacker. Yeah. So you actually just end up losing because you run out of stuff to attack with.
Alright, so he attaches a fire energy here.
Yeah, that is very strange.
Not sure what's going on.
He's just going to retreat. He's going to hope Henry doesn't have a catcher. Did he even Dynamo her?
I'm not sure he has lightning in the discard.
Oh, wow.
You'd think he would have if they were there.
Yeah. So, I mean, if Henry has an energy, he should definitely just retreat and Actually, I would probably just Night Spear still. You're probably not going to get knocked out. Then again, knowing Ross, you probably will get knocked out.
Like just plays with your mind, man.
Like a third fire, a tool scrapper.
And he's just going to take the prize.
Yeah. I wouldn't have minded well, I guess he didn't have energy. Probably an energy switch, which in that case, just attack with Darkrai.
Yeah.
Alright, he's going to promote this Rayquaza. Ross, you know, for as bad as it looks, he's not out of it.
It looks pretty bad.
Yeah, but like Henry doesn't have energy. There's the tool scrapper.
Oh god.
If he's got a fire, he can discard 3 fire and get a knockout.
Discarding 3 fire is a huge risk because he already used his super rod earlier, so
yeah,
he could have trouble down the stretch.
It's a problem, but what else can he do at this point? If Henry doesn't have, we know he has the energy switch, that's a problem. He's going to be able to retaliate. If Ross can discard a couple lightning, which he didn't, he would be able to dynamo or maybe power up something enough to pull off a Dragon Burst on the Terrakion next turn. But, yeah, at this point, it's going to take a miracle for him to win this one.
I mean, we saw Henry didn't have any energy last turn, so that could be a problem for him.
The way he almost played his turn, though, it made it look like he has an energy switch, though. So at the very least, he can retaliate. He's got the fighting sitting on the stun fist.
He does have a huge hand.
Yeah, that too. Let's see if Ross gets the fire. He's probably got a supporter. Can't imagine you'd be doing all this and then just pass.
Just pass.
Yeah, there's the Juniper. Discards a Bianca to draw 7. He needs a fire. He's pretty much committed himself to that, discarding the fire there. Did he draw one, though? You never know with Ross.
Yeah, he might go for the Raikou Thunderfang.
Most people would just throw down the fire immediately if they drew up a Ross. He's going to take a look at it. He's like, yeah, that looks pretty good.
Just admires it for a second, you know?
I think I'm going to play that this turn. And he just decides how long he wants to wait before he just torches his opponent and then finally puts it down. But
so
it looks like
attaches to the Dynamo.
Yeah, it's not the case here. He's going to go for the Thunder Wave. No Victini, but he gets the heads.
Does Henry have that switch?
If he did, that would be... That'd be one more prize gone. And then it's just knockout Rayquaza, game over.
Yep.
He's got some fighting too. So he's going to be able to retaliate. He's also going to have an option to catcher and just muddy water to knock out the Eelektrik. It's got 50 damage on it.
Yeah, Henry, all the prizes are there for him to take.
Yeah, he's setting himself up to win. All he's got to do is pretty much draw a catcher at this point, and the game is over. But you never know. Maybe Ross will pull something out of his bag of tricks.
He did last game, that's for sure.
Yeah. He still doesn't have lightning in the discard, but there's an Ultra Ball. See if he can manage to do that.
I guess not.
It's that poor shiny Rayquaza. It had its day. It was worth $80, and then the Dragon Ball set came out, and it was all downhill. Nobody wanted him anymore. Even Ross doesn't want him. Just discards him every game. He's just been demoted to discard fodder every game.
Poor guy.
Alright, so he's going to play an Ultra Ball, discard a Tool Scrapper as well. Gets Eelektrik, but there's still no lightning in the discard pile.
Yeah, he's having a lot of trouble. There must be some prize or something.
Sometimes that just happens with this deck, you know? Yeah, if you don't draw the lightning at the right time, you can't get him in the discard pile. All of a sudden, Eelektrik's not that great. I mean, he hasn't had an opportunity to Dragon Burst yet. And I don't know.
So he's going to retreat, possibly? Or use a switch. It's kind of weird because he has free retreat at the stadium.
I think he's going to Juniper or something, or Bianca.
Okay, yeah.
that Juniper, so might as well just play the switch, no downside.
Gives himself a retreat option.
Yeah.
And he evolved to Eelektrik, obviously.
So, what does he draw off this? He's played a bunch of Ultra Balls already, so it's going to be tough for him to get a Lightning in the discard. He draws the third Fire, though. It's going to let him Dragon Burst for the 180. The problem is going to be, can he do anything after that?
Yeah, the Rayquaza is going to get knocked out, and then Henry wins with the catcher, so...
Alright, so it might be one of those end to one, cross my fingers kind of thing.
Yeah, he's really doesn't have any options, so...
He's going to have to cross his fingers mighty hard to come out of this one. Probably going to take a few Thunder Fangs from Raikou and... never mind. Henry's pulling off some magic here.
And there we go.
Yeah, that's effectively sealed up the game. That puts the Eelektrik up to 80, so Muddy Water from Stunfisk knocks it out no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
So that should pretty much just make Ross scoop.
Yeah, see how much time he tries to kill here, or what his strategy is going into game 3.
I don't know what kind of a strategy you could have here. He doesn't play any healing cards. There's no way to avoid it.
He could be trying to take some more time off the clock before he loses this game.
Yeah, I guess, and then just paralyze Henry until time gets called.
Yeah, something.
And take the first prize.
Anything good going on your porn? No?
Get out.
All right, so I mean, Ross is just going to look for a way out.
And, yes.
I mean, I don't even know what he can do.
Depends on... He obviously loses this game. I think we both agree on that.
There's no way out. The only way he would have had a chance is if Henry switched the Dark instead of the Fighting off of Terrakion. Then Ross could have catchered it up and then maybe stuck it there with the Raikou and then Volt bolted.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a long shot to work too, but yeah.
He's gonna end to one.
There's really nothing he can do. It's just if he knocks out one, the other gets him.
Yep.
Unless he
plays a crushing hammer somewhere along the way.
Yeah, there we go. Just drops a max potion out of nowhere.
Yeah. We haven't seen one in about 6 games from him, so he's saving it for now.
Yeah, I have to wonder how much time is left. It is 75 minutes, so there will be plenty of time, but you never know with Ross. This game might not finish.
So here we go.
Yeah, and this is just... I actually don't know what this is. This is Ross making Henry beat him.
It's pretty awkward. He must feel he has some sort of advantage the closer he gets to time.
Yeah. Henry's going to catch out the Eelektrik. It's really irrelevant. But if I were in Henry's shoes, I would definitely just save that in case Ross plays a max potion. No reason to just overextend that for no reason.
You can't know Ross's exact list.
Yeah, and even if the Raikou keeps paralyzing you, like, what does that matter? If he knocks one of your guys out, you lose anyway.
Yeah.
Or you win anyway, sorry. You just get the Muddy Water. So leave yourself the option to catch her there. Alright, so this game finally ends, okay. So, Henry's going to tie the series up at 1-1. We're going to have one game to see who takes home the title. Winner take all, one more game.
Yeah, I think we saw Henry lose the first game last time, and he came back from there, so let's see if he can do it again in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, look, these guys have fought through. There were 9 rounds of Swiss yesterday, a top 32 match too, and then they battled through, had to come back here at like 8 in the morning. You go through the top 16, 8, 4, and this is your one game to determine the result of your entire weekend's work.
Oh, yeah.
One game, it's all on the line. And, I mean, there's a trip to Nationals on the line. It's your hotel, it's your travel, everything. Both these guys get 2 buys at Nationals no matter what. But just taking home the title of regional champion is just something you can feel good about.
Yeah, definitely. You want to be the champion, you know, especially you've come this far to the finals, and it's always hard to walk away with second place. I've done it a couple of times at regionals.
Yeah, we've both been there, yeah.
Yeah, and I know I'm exhausted, so they must be super exhausted. All I've been doing is sitting in the chair all weekend.
I don't know. I think Ross is actually just a machine. I don't think he gets tired. He could probably just sit here and play all day.
Yeah, he just needs an oil change on that.
He's gonna do some more shuffling here.
He's really killing a lot of time here.
Yeah. You know, Ross, he's got his watch on.
Yeah,
He always
true.
wears his watch. He is always aware of the time. I remember back to Worlds 2011 when he's facing David Cohen in the finals, and David wins, or Ross wins game 2. So he knows David's gonna choose to go first in the third game, and he actually took 3 minutes to shuffle his deck, and then time got called, and they went to sudden death. So
Yeah, he knows exactly what's going on.
I'm not saying that he's trying to do anything like manipulate time here, but he's always aware of the situation for sure.
Ross gets to go first here. Maybe he's trying to get as close to time as possible, so
Yeah,
he can
yeah.
Thunder Wave, get his strategy going, you know, and then take that first prize.
You gotta wonder if that's even a wise strategy, though, knowing that Henry plays that Stun Fist that can just knock out a Dynamo at any time. If you're in a one prize game, that's a huge disadvantage to just have him go Stun Fist, and your deck is actually kind of slow.
Yeah, it's pretty slow.
He has to sit there and Thunder Wave, Thunder Wave, Thunder Wave, and if he ever flips 2 tails there,
It's just over.
he loses a prize, and he loses. It takes like 4 turns to power up a Rayquaza in the early going.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe he thinks he has the advantage. Maybe he does.
I don't really doubt Ross. You know?
I don't either, yeah. That's why we're
He's so
sitting here,
good.
and he's over there. Alright, so he starts with...
And there's that Victini again.
Yeah.
Gets that thing out. It just comes to the top of the deck. It's a good Pokemon.
Yeah, he's had it out on
Loyal.
turn 1 every game, but uh-oh. Puts a fire on the Rayquaza.
He's going for the Celestial Roar.
It didn't go so well last time. I don't think he's going to do it again this time. We got an N. Both players are going to shuffle in and draw 6. And, alright. It's interesting that he would attach the fire. I guess he really doesn't want to miss an attachment. He could have gotten, you know, like a Sky Arrow, Dynamo, and a Lightning and gone for a Thunder Wave turn 1, but he's just playing it safe. I think probably because he knows the odds of Henry being able to attack on the first turn are very low. He would need his 1 switch, but hey, he got the Sky Arrow and the Dynamo, and he probably has a Lightning. So.
Oh, yeah. He blew it.
Oh, he's going for the Roar. Oh, no. Oh, wow, that was actually really bad for Ross.
Wow.
I can't believe he would actually go for that. That is such a risky attack.
He plays so few Lightning energy, too.
Right. It's just a huge risk from Ross. I guess it pays off if you hit an energy, but... Ooh, he discarded his other Rayquaza EX, Switch, and a Catcher. Those are all crucial cards in this matchup. They're just gone. He can always Super Rod the Rayquaza EX back in, but that's not the card you want to Super Rod back in. You usually want like Fires or Dynamos. So that was very, very costly.
See, Henry played down a Fighting, Darkrai, Dark Patch to it, so...
Okay.
But he's kind of slowed down. Not sure what's going on here.
Alright, so Ross definitely going to have to go into Dynamo mode and just Thunder Wave for a couple turns here. These flips are going to be crucial to the game's outcome for sure, and oh, he actually just evolves to Eelektrik. Maybe he's got another Dynamo.
Ross is completely given up on his normal strategy here.
It failed him last game. He got the double tails twice, and now he doesn't know what to do with his life anymore. Wow,
He's
it
just
attaches
powering
a
up this Rayquaza. He must know it's like super close to time or something. I don't know.
I am actually confused a lot.
Yeah,
But, oh, he Junipered away to Lightning, so he gets the Sky Arrow and Thunder Wave.
Yeah, Thunder Wave. Yep.
Yeah, that's why he's smarter than us.
Yep. This is how we made it to that table, and we made it to this one.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't. I don't even have an excuse. You do. At least you didn't play. I just ended up at this table and I lost. All right, so we're definitely going to see a Thunder Wave. There's no way he's not doing that. What? What?
I guess you're just bad at Ross predicting.
I'm bad at Ross predicting for sure, but that is mind-boggling. I can't believe he actually did that.
Yeah, that's...
Like, I don't understand what you're. I actually just don't understand what you're going for there. Are you going for like?
He just doesn't want to give up a prize or something? I have no idea.
I mean, if you just retreat and Thunder Wave, you put the 10 on the Terrakion no matter what, and you get a free prize at some point with a 2-energy Dragon Burst.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really puzzling.
Don't know.
The only explanation is that time is low. I don't understand any other way to look at it. And he's just powering up this Rayquaza. He's going to target down that Darkrai, take 2 prizes, and then win on time.
Yeah,
That's his only thing.
Even then, Ross could just. I think his paralyzation strategy.
Yeah.
Don't know. Like, why not?
I think the switch really got in his head when he saw that from Henry. Where he's like, oh god, this isn't going to work anymore. I got to find a new plan. And his new plan was Celestial Roar,
which has not been
failed
successful
miserably. He's discarded a Tynamo, a Raikou, and a Rayquaza EX at this point. He's definitely not playing for a long game, that's for sure.
Yeah, it looks like he's might be on tilt or something from the last game. You know, Henry,
I don't think that's it. I think he's just trying to think of a different strategy. He understands that this game is not going to finish, and he's just trying to take quick prizes. And he gets a second Eelektrik. If he has a switch here and a Lightning, he can Dragon Burst from 180.
Yeah, if he has a catcher.
Yeah, he can do that too. Even just knocking out Terrakion is big because Henry won't have anywhere to really attack next turn. He's only got 1 energy on the Darkrai. There's the Lightning, so he's gonna get. Oh, he's gonna go for Bianca too.
He's really playing off the top of his deck this game.
Yeah. He's discarded about 6 cards of it too.
He didn't need that.
He would certainly like to have that catcher right now, unless that's the card he's about to play right now. Oh no, it's an Ultra Ball.
Get rid of another Lightning here, hopefully.
Yeah, well, he also had to discard a switch early on. He might run out of those.
Oh, no.
No, he's already got 2 Lightning in this discard. He opted not to use Dynamotor last turn. He's going to get a 3rd Dynamo out here. And I think Ross just has to know time is running low. There's no other explanation for what he's doing here.
Hey, he's completely abandoned his deck's normal strategy.
And you know, he's not actually in a bad spot overall either. He's discarded a lot of cards, but at the same time, he's got 2 Eeelektriks out. He's going to take out this Terrakion.
And Henry's not doing anything.
Yeah, that too. Henry's going to be left with just a Darkrai with 1 energy. The only way he can even attack this turn is like getting a Stun Fisk and a Fighting, or Terrakion, Energy Switch, Fighting. Even that's going to do 90. He's just attaching the Dark. He could have some sort of crazy, like another Dark Pokemon.
Yeah,
Dark
this
Patch,
could be it
Energy
actually.
Switch.
He just needs a switch and a Lightning.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. If Henry doesn't have anything else, you can see Ross win this game right here after some puzzling Celestial Roars, and he just ends up winning anyway.
Got a feel for Henry at this point. You know, he came so far. He
Yeah.
fought back, being down a game in top 4, and he almost did right now, but looks like he's about to fall short.
It might be. I mean, Ross has got the Super Rod, which is an interesting card to play if you're trying to fish for something.
Yeah.
But maybe he's got a Juniper. But this is it, man. If he gets a switch and either a Lightning or a Fire, this game is over. He can also draw into his Rayquaza that he just shuffled in, and then just a Fire and an Eelektrik. He's got...
Yeah, he needs the eel.
Yeah, he's got plenty of outs to this. And here comes the Bianca. Does he draw the switch and the Lightning or the Fire? I don't think so. Even Ross would get excited at this point. He would play those cards down immediately.
I don't... Yeah, as he does it.
He's getting me again, isn't he? He's got it. This game's over. I shouldn't have doubted him.
He just looks over and points at you.
I guess I can't blame him if he wants to just make sure he wins, but alright. See, I finally predicted Ross correctly. He didn't have it that time.
Oh. I thought that was going to be time.
I thought that was time too, yeah. But, you know, even though Ross didn't get the win there, he's still in a good spot. He's definitely going to Dragon Burst for a knockout next turn. Henry gets the Eevee, which is kind of big, but
Yeah.
You got to think, even if he gets this Darkrai attacking, first of all, he needs a second Pokemon, otherwise he loses the game.
Oh, for sure.
But if he gets a second Pokemon, he can't even power it up, really.
Yeah, he needs a spectacular hand.
And he'll need some dark patches here. And he's got energy. Where's the Pokemon? There's no Pokemon there. He's got to pass.
Have to pass.
Yeah. Oh no, he took the bait. Game. If Ross has an energy, the game is over.
No, you put an Eevee on the Darkrai.
Yeah, if Ross has a lightning, the game is over.
Okay. Oh, it looks like he top decked one.
Is that it? Is that the tournament? Did Ross? Yes, Ross Cawthon is the champion here at the Indiana Regional Championships. Congratulations. He's going to Dragon Burst that Darkrai for 220 damage. And wow, Ross manages to take down this huge regional championship. We've seen the likes of Jason Kaczynski and Jay Hornung, John Roberts II, all these incredible players. And the one that comes out on top at the end of the day is going to be Ross.
Yeah, he really brought an interesting deck to the table. You know, he had that Victini that really helped him out throughout the day.
You know what, this is just kind of like Ross's signature thing. Like, he always comes up with something a little strange.
Yeah, he's something unique, you know.
Yeah, he's always a creator of, I think his first breakout performance was that Worlds 2005, where he had the Dark Tyranitar, the Electrode EX.
Yeah.
That was really a new concept. At Worlds 2011, he came up with the Truth.
Yeah, the Vileplume deck.
Yeah, the Vileplume with the Reuniclus. And here again with the Victini, believe it or not, something that simple made such an impact. And what an incredible run from Ross. Just going to add to his list of accomplishments. I mean, two-time Worlds finalist. He's qualified for every World Championship. He's won several regionals by now.
Yeah, it's interesting because he just moved to Chicago, I believe. So he moves and he steals our regional away, you know?
Yeah, I know. But actually, he won Wisconsin regionals before, so he's no stranger to this area.
He just wins wherever he goes.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for coverage here from Indiana Regionals. We'll try to get maybe an interview with some of the players, but that's going to do it for the games. Stay tuned. We might have some more some interviews. Maybe we'll talk to Ross or talk to Henry. But until then, you got anything else to say to the people?
Just thanks for watching, guys. We had a ton of viewers that game, and it's great to see. This game will be up on our YouTube later, so go check it out there too.
Definitely. We had a great turnout for the stream. You know, just thanks. We're always trying to grow, trying to promote Pokemon, and this is just one step further. I'm glad we were able to stream from here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everyone was very accommodating, and we're just taking one step at a time to making this thing kind of a standard at all these big events.
Yeah. Props to Derek Farber, the TO, and AJ Schumacher, the head judge of Nationals, for really helping us out. They've been accommodating all weekend.
Definitely.
They gave us some lunch today. Just really great people and class acts all around.
Yeah, well, that's going to wrap up the finals. Ross beats out 300 other players, takes home the gold. And he's got to be feeling good about this one. But thanks for watching this, guys. We're going to wrap up the tournament coverage here, and we'll see if we can get some interviews.
Woo! Thanks, guys.